fluffy bacon and onion sourdough discard bread rolls. These rolls are perfect for using up your sourdough discard and are packed with flavor from the bacon and onion. The crust is crisp and provides a satisfying contrast to the soft interior. Let's get started to bake. First off, let's get ready with all the ingredients that we need for today. Bread flour, milk powder, instant yeast, 2 eggs, custard sugar, sourdough discard, butter, bacon, onion, salt, yogurt and milk. Let's combine our dry ingredients. Combine our 500 grams of bread flour, which is content of 11 to 13% of high protein flour. Add in 40 grams of milk powder. Incorporating milk powder into the recipe ensures that the bread is not only flavorful and visually appealing, but also has a delightful texture and longer shelf life. And third, dry ingredients is instant dry yeast. We use around 6 grams of instant yeast. Using discard and instant yeast together, enhance bread by combining the tangy flavor of sourdough discard with the reliable rise of instant yeast. It also reduces waste by utilizing our sourdough discard rather than throw away, and speeds up the fermentation process by using the instant yeast. In a clean bowl, let's mix 60 grams of Greek plain yogurt without any flavoring. Add in 90 grams of fresh milk. You must be wondering why yogurt? The yogurt adds a touch of tanginess and moisture to our bread roll. Set it aside. Next step, in the separate mixing bowl. Now let's take on our sourdough discard. We are using around 300 grams sourdough discard. The secret to this deliciousness lies into the sourdough starter taste, giving it that signature tang and rise. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't have a sourdough starter, and making one seems complicated. Well, fret no more. In my sourdough masterclass, I will guide you through the entire process step by step that I learned from one of the best bakers last time, and I'm excited to share their secrets with you. What you need to do now is head over to hankery.com/masterclass and sign up for my sourdough masterclass today. Now it's time to add in our yogurt and fresh milk into the sourdough discard in our mixing bowl. Mix in our 60 grams of custard white sugar, crack 2 fresh eggs. The eggs that will provide the richness and structure to this bacon bread. Mix in around 5 grams of pink Himalayan salt or any sea salt that you have in your kitchen. After combining all the wet ingredients, now let's take out our mixer. Put on the bread dough into the stand mixers. Slot in our mixing bowl, and now it's time to add our dry ingredients into the mixing bowl. Gradually incorporate the bread flour, milk powder, and instant it into the wet mixture. The milk powder adds a slight sweetness to help to create a softer crumb. Use a spatula or your hands if you need some help to combine the ingredients into the mixing bowl. Start with a low speed. With a dough hook attachment, mix until a dough forms. This should take a few minutes. Gradually turn the mixer speed from low to medium and medium-high once all the dry ingredients are incorporated into the wet mixture. You may start to observe that it comes quite quickly all together. When you see it form the dough shape, we will start to incorporate 40 grams of softened unsalted butter into the dough. Add the butter to the dough and knead for 5 to 7 minutes until the dough is smooth and elastic. The reason why we only incorporate butter later at that stage is to allow the dough to develop gluten before the fats are added, leading to a better texture. Now the pro tips for you, how to tell when dough is almost ready. When kneading the dough with a stand mixer, an important indicator that the dough is almost ready is when it stops sticking to the side of the mixing bowl and starts to pull away cleanly from the bottom. This typically happens after several minutes of kneading and signifies that the dough has developed sufficient gluten. Now stop the mixer and test our window pan test. To perform the window pan test, take a small piece of dough and gently stretch it between your fingers. If it forms a thin, translucent film without tearing, your dough is ready for the first rise. This indicates that the gluten development is sufficient for a good bread structure. So remove the dough from the mixing bowl and try to roll into the ball shape into another greased mixing bowl. Cover it with a cling film or any damp cloth and let it rise in a warm place for about 1 to 2 hours or until it doubles in size. A warm environment helps to speed up the fermentation process, resulting in a faster rise. While the dough is rising, let's prepare the filling. Cut and cook the bacon until crispy and crumble it. Cook the bacon until crispy golden brown. And now let's saute 60 grams of chopped red onion in the bacon grease or until softened and translucent together. Smells so good. This savory mixture will add a delicious flavor to our bread rolls. Set it aside. Once the dough has doubled in size, around 1 to 2 hours. Now punch it down to release the gas. My most favorite part to release my stress. Remove the dough from the mixing bowl to the clean workspace. Lightly dusting with some bread flour onto our workbench scrapple and our rolling pin. Shape our bread dough into the big round ball. Use the workbench scrapple to cut into 4 equal sizes of the bread dough. If you would like the 4 equal sizes to be very precise, you can use the scale to measure the weight for individual of the dough. After divided into 4 round ball shapes, take one portion of the dough and roll it into a rectangle. Aim for a thickness of about half of an inch. This will give you enough space to distribute the filling evenly. Repeat. Slowly roll the dough up and make it a little bit longer to fit into our cake tin. Making sure the seam is facing downwards and input our dough into the cake tin. Repeat this process with the second portion of the dough and the other 2 dough in separate loaf. If you are new here, why not click on subscribe button into my channel so that you won't miss out any future recipe. You can also check out my tools links in the description box below or go over to hankery.com/affiliate store to check out the list of the tools for sourdough, baking, and cooking. Back to our dough. Rolling the dough up and make sure close all the seam properly and face the seam downwards and rolling again. Place our dough into our cake tin with the baking paper. Cover them with plastic wrap and let them rise for another 30 minutes or until double in size. Look at them, this second rise gives the bread rolls a finer volume and fluffiness. Preheat our oven to 350 Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. Before baking, we're going to give our bread rolls a beautiful golden sheen by applying a milk wash. There's a pro tip. Using a pastry brush, gently brush the entire surface of the raisin rolls with a little milk. This simple step will create a lovely glossy finish on the bread and enhance its overall appearance. Once the oven is preheated, now bake our rolls into the oven at 175 Celsius at fan force for 25 to 30 minutes or until the golden brown when it's fully baked. As the bread bakes, the aroma that fills the kitchen is simply irresistible. The combination of the sourdough tang, the savory bacon, and the caramelizing onions create a mouth-watering scent that will entice everyone in your home when you open your oven door. Once our bread has finished baking, let it cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. This allows the internal temperature to drop slightly, preventing the bread from crumbling when you remove it. To release the bread from the pan, gently run a knife around the edges to loosen it, or that is the baking paper purposes when we actually bake it. Carefully invert the pan onto a wire rack, allowing the bread to fall out. Let the bread cool completely on the wire rack before slicing. Let's review inside. Gently pull apart our bacon onion sourdough discard bread roll with our hand. You will notice a few key characteristics. The inside of the roll is airy and light. When an even crumb structure, each piece you tear off has a soft pillowy feel that springs back slightly when pressed. The interior is evenly dotted with small to medium air pockets, a sign of well-developed gluten and a good rise during baking. The air pockets contribute to bread lightness and ensure that each bite is consistent. The bread retains a pleasant moisture, making it feel tender and rich. These moistures come from the combination of yogurt, milk, sourdough discard, contributing to a delightful melt-in-your-mouth texture. In terms of taste, savory and slightly tangy, the bread has a subtle tang from sourdough discard, perfectly balanced with the sweetness from the milk powder and a hint of sugar. This creates a complex, nuanced flavor profile. The crispy bacon bits adds a smoky, savory crunch, while the sauteed onions provide a sweet caramelized undertone. These ingredients are distributed throughout the bread, ensuring that every bite is bursting with the swirl of the bacon. Let's recap my recipe, or you can head over to hankery.com for print out recipe. Don't forget to check out the next bread recipe in description box below or the next video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe my channel for more delicious recipes. Hit that notification bell so you'll never miss an update. See you in my hankery.com sourdough masterclass.